This is everything you'll need to put the cooler on. I've got a bottle of Dextron 6. That's what the transmission calls for. Got the cooler. Here's the part number, 25791. Comes with the bracket, the hardware to mount it. I also have a box of hose clamps from O'Reilly's. About 10 feet of transmission cooler line. May not need that much, but I can use it for something else. Here's the cooler itself, packaged nicely. Comes with a bunch of fittings. It does use these weird inverted flare fittings. I don't know why they couldn't just use NPT, but just be aware of that if you need to order a different size. Once it comes with R3/8. Everything you're seeing here cost about $200, $70 cooler, $30 of fluid. Hose was like $40. It's pretty expensive. Hose clamps maybe $5 or $6. Cooler was about $70. But this should be all we need to install it. So let's get started and see how hard it is. I don't think it's going to be too bad. For the thermostat, you're also going to need 4 3/8 barb by 3/8 NPT fittings. Make sure you order those when you order this. First thing I'll be doing is installing the fittings. I am going to put some thread sealer on them. You really don't need to because they're flare fitting, but I'm going to do it anyway. Why not? Thread sealer is on all the fittings. Now we're just going to tighten them down. So get the hood on the truck open. Remove your air cleaner. There's a worm screw here and a worm screw up there on the intake. Get it out of the way. Now if you look down here, there are a few lines. One's up here, I've already removed. One's down here. A little harder to see, it's that steel line there at the bottom. And this one I've removed the cover off. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take these clips out and then pull the lines. Now I'd recommend a drain pan because it's gonna make a mess. Just take those lines loose. It's pretty easy. It's got this little spring clip. You just get a screwdriver on this edge right here, push it out, and then it'll pop out. Then just grab the line and wiggle it out of the capture. It's pretty easy to disconnect. So let's get these two off, and then we'll see what we got. Okay, now this bottom one is pretty difficult to get, and it's hard to film, but what I'm gonna try to do is hook on the bottom of it with these pick tools, and then stick another pick tool in it to release it. So, okay, I've got this in here. Let's see if I can just pull it out. Oh, there it goes. There we go. Got it released. That was a really difficult one. That was a lucky get. Now let's see if I can get this one out. Maybe. There we go. Again, barely a drip. Really interesting. I found this is the best place. I've already mounted it with the permanent marker where the holes are. As you can see, the hoses will be able to come in easily, go out easily around to the cooler. 3 10mm bolts. Hold this thing out of the way. Now I'm going to hold this here, and I'm just going to run a couple self-drillers. Our next step is going to be determining which is the supply and return to the transmission. So take some of that hose you bought, 3/8, slide it over this one, slide it over your other line, run these hoses under the truck, and then you're going to take 2 clear cups and run a mark around where you put the transmission fluid. As you can see, I'm just going to get it to where it won't spill. Okay, just like that. All right. You can see, get the hoses into both of these things here. Now I'm just going to very briefly crank the ignition over. Now cranking the ignition over may take a few attempts, but as you can see, 1 cup has a whole lot more fluid in it now. So that cup is going to be our supply from the transmission to the cooler. This one on the left, right here, which is the bottom of this radiator, is our output from the transmission. So this goes from the transmission to the cooler, and this one is returned from the cooler. So like I said, output from the transmission to the cooler, input from the cooler to the transmission. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 2 hose clamps, shove this over, and I'll have these 2 hose clamps tightened down. Let's get this. There you go. Just shoved it over, tighten the clamps down lightly. Got it going, and then we'll do this one after. But for now, I'm just going to cut this to length, give it some nice slack, and then we'll do the other side. Now, since this is the output, we're going to put it on, see how these two are different sizes? There's a smaller and a larger one. We're going to put it on the end of this bigger thing here. That's our input from the transmission. Now that we got all this stuff hooked up and tightened down, our next step is to do the cooler. So let's get this thing off here, and then we'll mount the new one. Got the wires out of the way for my jumper cable hookup. I'm just going to zap these off. It's a 13mm socket. Pretty easy. Take the bolts out. Get those other side out, and then you can just kind of work with this thing, pry it up out of here like that. Okay, after unbolting it, I kind of wiggled it out, removed the clip because it's the same exact clip as the rest. Now I'm gonna remove this line here. There we go. Now with that loose from the cooler, I think I can work this thing out of here pretty easily. Yep, looks like I can. Kind of pry it out of here. It'll make a mess, but that's part of the job. And after removing the top line, there's a little more wiggling, and the whole cooler is out. After test fitting the cooler in there off camera, what I've realized is there really isn't an excellent way to mount this, except for if you lower this thing in here gently, you can see it'll actually fit, and my intention is to bend those tabs at the bottom to where they're resting on that, and I can just run a self-driller in there. I was as careful as I could be bending this. I tried to bend it gently with a crescent. As you can see, it slightly crushed this outermost runner. Now, it doesn't have any fluid that goes through it, luckily, so I already tested it and it didn't affect performance any, but just be very careful when you do this. That was in order to facilitate the cooler. I also had to move the power steering cooler, so I just kind of, it was over here, I just kind of gently worked it, wiggled it. The line's bent slightly, ran it into this screw, and it's nice and secure right there. As for the transmission lines, this is how I ended up routing them. Just went around the cooler, or the expansion tank here, down under there. As you can see, or kind of not see, it goes kind of next to the radiator between the foam for the baffling. Goes through this hole, and then just goes over to the transmission cooler. Nice and simple. I left a good service loop here, so if you ever need to cut it for whatever reason or work with it, you got plenty to deal with. This is after I got everything installed. So all I did is I ran those transmission lines, hooked them up, put 2 hose clamps on them on the barbs, no big deal. You'll see the mounting brackets I put on the top. That was included with the kit. You could cut these off. I might someday if I remember, but it isn't a big deal. Just bolted it here and here. I did remove these braces from the original cooler. And the reason was this was so flexible, and I didn't like that at all. These are actually made to stiffen this part of the upper radiator support, I guess is what you'd call this. So you want to put those braces back on there. Like I said, that'll be a good mounting point for your brackets. Now at the bottom, I just ran a sheet metal screw in on each side, and that seemed to work very well. The hood without these brackets, it was flexing on this transmission cooler, so that wasn't such a great thing. After I got everything installed, I just had to put a little bit of transmission fluid in it. Really didn't go very low, maybe 1/4 of a quart, if that. So filled it up, ran it, made sure there were no leaks on this or the thermostat. And after that, I just drove the vehicle, made sure everything was working, made sure there were no leaks from anything. If you look at the temperature gauge for the transmission, this is the 100-degree mark. That's the 300-degree mark. 180 degrees is roughly right at my fingertip. It's between this dark mark and this lighter mark. The transmission will hit that after driving for maybe 15 minutes or so in the winter, 20 minutes. It takes it a little bit to get up to temperature, and it doesn't go above that at all. Runs totally flat at that temperature, and that thermostat's what's regulating it at that. Before putting the new cooler on, the temperature would run roughly right around where my fingertip is, about this second black mark. And that's around 210 degrees or so, which is what the engine temperature runs. So the transmission's running quite a bit cooler. I haven't noticed any effect in drivability at all, but the hope is that I won't have any problems with. So far, it's been working great, including in the colder weather. You definitely don't want your radiator failing and putting antifreeze in your transmission. So that was my main concern, and that was really the main reason I wanted to do this. And of course, if you do any kind of towing, this is going to make a huge difference for engine temperature, or transmission temperature, excuse me. The hardest part was definitely mounting this cooler here. It wasn't too big a deal, but it was a little flimsy, and I had to mess with these brackets to get it in shape and get everything mounted. But once I got that done, it was no big deal. Just running the hoses is super easy. So if you want to do this, I'd highly recommend it. It's worked out great so far. So anyway, I appreciate you watching. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.